The zero-tolerance immigration policy under Trump had profound effects. Family separation became a humanitarian crisis, with thousands of children torn from their parents at the border. Ironically, stricter enforcement sometimes led to more illegal crossings, as migrants rushed to cross before the full force of the law hit. Legal challenges emerged, delaying deportations and forcing changes to policies. Critics argued these actions violated human rights, uprooting individuals who had built lives in the U.S. Relations with Central American countries soured, as deportations ignored the violence and poverty driving migration. Immigrant communities lived in fear, facing anxiety and stress that impacted their mental health. Economically, industries reliant on immigrant labor like agriculture and hospitality braced for labor shortages. All of this deepened political divides, fueling fierce debates on immigration reform. The consequences of these bold moves are complex and will resonate for years to come. The bold moves regarding mass deportation under Donald Trump's administration, particularly his zero-tolerance immigration policy, had several significant side effects. Family separation. One of the most widely criticized aspects was the separation of children from their parents at the US-Mexico border. The zero-tolerance policy led to thousands of children being placed in detention facilities while their parents faced prosecution for illegal border crossings. This created a humanitarian crisis and was heavily condemned both domestically and internationally. Increased border crossings. In some cases, stricter enforcement may have led to an increase in illegal border crossings as migrants sought to cross before stricter measures were fully implemented. The catch and release system was also curtailed, leading to people being detained for longer periods. Legal challenges. Trump's mass deportation efforts faced numerous legal challenges, many of which resulted in delays or changes to the policies. The courts intervened on several occasions, particularly regarding the separation of families and the deportation of individuals with temporary legal status. Humanitarian concerns. Critics argued that the mass deportation strategy violated human rights, particularly for undocumented immigrants who were often living and working in the U.S. for years, contributing to communities. Many undocumented individuals were deported to countries they hadn't lived in for years or had no familial ties to, resulting in severe personal hardships. Strained relations with Central America. Trump's aggressive immigration policies strained relations with countries in Central America, where many migrants were fleeing violence, poverty, and corruption. Some governments in the region viewed the deportations and the reduction of asylum opportunities as a failure to address the root causes of migration. Impact on immigrant communities. Many immigrant communities, including legal immigrants, felt targeted and fearful under the mass deportation rhetoric and policies. There was a reported increase in anxiety and stress within these communities, impacting individuals' mental health and overall quality of life. Effect on the U.S. economy. There were concerns about the economic effects of mass deportations, particularly in industries that rely heavily on immigrant labor, such as agriculture, construction, and hospitality. A mass deportation could lead to labor shortages in these sectors, which in turn might have an economic impact. Political polarization. Trump's approach to immigration and deportation contributed to increasing political polarization in the U.S., with strong divisions between supporters of the policy and those who opposed it, especially within the context of broader debates on immigration reform. While the effects of these policies are complex and long-term, these are some of the most notable and immediate consequences.